The WNBA has no idea what it's doing with Caitlin Clark. Can we all agree on that? They have no idea. This would be a major story day after day, week after week. It would be in all the news cycles. Look, 20 years ago, yes, you could be homophobic in sports. Now you can't. This league, it don't like us. I'm heterosexual, and I faced a lot of pressure. If this were going the opposite direction, if there was a league being run,
picture this. A rookie comes in, breaks records, and leads her team to the playoffs for the first time in years. But she's not the MVP. What's going on in the WNBA? Is there more to this story than just numbers on a scoreboard? Let's talk about Caitlin Clark. This girl is on fire. She's dishing out assists like it's nobody's business. 337 in her rookie season. That's insane. And get this, she's averaging 19.2 points per game. I mean, come on. Who does that in their first year? But you know what's even crazier? Clark didn't just show up to play. She dragged the Indiana Fever to their first playoff spot since 2016. Imagine being the new kid and turning a whole team around. That's some next level stuff right there. So with all this awesomeness, you'd think Clark would be MVP, right? Well, hold on to your seats because that's not how this story ends. Something else is going on and we're about to dig into it. You won't believe what's coming next. You'd think Clark's performance would be unbeatable, right? Well, hold on to your seats because Aja Wilson just entered the chat. Ever wonder what it takes to overshadow a rookie sensation?
What is allowed in the WNBA towards heterosexual women, and this is by design. This is the problem with Caitlin Clark and why they're trying to demonize Caitlin Clark. Their argument was at that time, oh God, if you don't have women in this golf course, they just don't have access to men of power. And I called BS on that in real time. I was like, what do you mean they don't have access? They have nieces, they have grandparents, they have their mother to answer to. Women have access to men in power. They don't need to be in our locker room and in our clubs to have access to men in power.
Wilson's season wasn't just good, it was historic. She didn't just break records, she shattered them. And it's making us question everything we thought we knew about value in the WNBA. Let's talk numbers, because Wilson's stats are off the chart. She averaged 26.9 points per game. That's not a typo, folks. She became the first player in WNBA history to score over 1,000 points in a season. Can you believe that? No one's ever done that before. It's like she's playing a different game out there. But wait, there's more. Wilson didn't just dominate on offense. She led the league in rebounds with 451 and blocks with 98. That's what you call a triple threat. She's not just scoring, she's owning the entire court. Now, you might be wondering, how does this compare to Clark? Well, that's where things get interesting. The MVP award isn't just about who scores the most points, it's about value. But what does that even mean? Think about it like this. Wilson's not just putting up numbers, she's changing the game.
If you don't want anything to do with them and you want to be hugged up with your boo, your female boo, yes, you need to involve yourselves and pretend to be a man and join a man's club. Shoots the basketball in an exciting way, spreads and shares the basketball in an exciting way, and all of a sudden there's a momentum behind her and the league has relevancy. It's all BS. Like, oh, there was no trolling. It's been so terrible because Caitlin Clark's there. Brittany Griner. Oh, God, what I went through. People calling me the N-word and slurs at games. There's no proof of any of this.
Her all-around dominance made her the unanimous MVP choice. That's right, unanimous. Even with Clark's incredible rookie season, every single voter picked Wilson. But here's where it gets complicated. Someone said, Player of the Year? Okay, easily Aja. Most valuable? Caitlin is definitely in that conversation. So what's the difference? It's not just about personal stats, it's about team impact too. Wilson's Aces finished with a better record than Clark's Fever. That matters in MVP discussion. It's not just about how good you are, it's about how much you help your team win. And let's not forget, Wilson didn't just beat Clark's scoring average, she beat everyone's. She surpassed Diana Taurasi's single-season scoring record of 25.3 points per game from 2006. That's some legendary company right there. So, we've got Wilson breaking records left and right, leading in multiple categories, and helping her team to a top finish. On the other hand, we've got Clark, the rookie phenom, turning her team around and making the playoffs for the first time in years. Think the rivalry between Wilson and Clark is intense? That's nothing compared to the drama unfolding behind closed doors.
Someone on social media busted him out as the biggest troll. The biggest troll in the WNBA. Aja Wilson's BFF, found pictures of him hugged up with Don Staley at games. Don Staley calling this man Dolores. You are truly a gift to us. Keep being you and don't let anyone but us tell you otherwise. Love you, Dolores.
The WNBA is facing accusations that could change everything we thought we knew about the league. Why are some saying it's becoming a hostile environment for certain players and fans? Let's talk about the elephant in the room, the WNBA's culture. It's not all glitz and glamour, folks. There's a dark side that's been brewing, and it's not pretty. Some are calling it toxic, especially towards Caitlin Clark and her supporters. Can you believe it? The league that's supposed to empower women is being accused of hostility towards certain groups. Here's the deal. Critics are saying the WNBA is not exactly rolling out the welcome mat for everyone. They're pointing fingers, saying the league's got a problem with heterosexual women and those who hold traditional views. It's like they're playing favorites, and not everyone's invited to the party. But wait, it gets worse. There's this figure known as Dolores, who's stirring up trouble. She's not even a player, but she's got everyone talking.
You presented this picture to the world willingly, like your forehead not pumped up from your N-word teabagging your ugly ass. This is Dolores. This is Asia Wilson's BFF. Don Staley loves Dolores to death. This is who is the heart of the WNBA culture. This person has been identified by WNBA fans as the trashiest, most classless person on social media, trolling. This is what she's writing to other WNBA players.
Imagine someone using social media to attack Caitlin Clark and her fans. That's what Dolores is accused of doing. She's like the WNBA's very own internet troll, and she's got connections to Asia Wilson. This isn't just about hurt feelings. This toxic environment is affecting players and fans alike. Think about it. How can you enjoy the game when you're worried about being targeted online? It's turning the WNBA into a battleground, and not the kind we want to see on the court. And get this, some are saying this anger and bitterness is spreading through the whole league. Players are frustrated, fans are upset, and it's all becoming one big mess. If this keeps up, what's going to happen to the WNBA's future? Will people start tuning out because of all the drama? It's not all doom and gloom though. There's a silver lining here. This controversy is shining a light on a big problem, and that's the first step to fixing it. The WNBA needs to take a hard look at itself and figure out how to create a more inclusive environment. We're talking about a league that should support all kinds of players and opinions, not just the ones that fit a certain mold. Now let's set aside the controversy for a moment and focus on the game itself. Clark and Wilson are changing the face of women's basketball with every play. But here's the real question. Which of their unique skills will prove most valuable when it really counts? When Clark and Wilson step on the court, it's like watching two different basketball philosophies collide. Clark's game is all about creating opportunities. She's got this uncanny ability to see plays before they happen. It's like she's got eyes in the back of her head. Her passing game is off the charts, dishing out assists left and right, and when she decides to score, watch out. She's averaging more points per game than any rookie in WNBA history. But Wilson, she's a whole different beast. This girl is a scoring machine, putting up numbers that make your head spin. She's the first player ever to score over 1,000 points in a single WNBA season. That's not just good, that's legendary. And don't even get me started on her defense. She's leading the league in block, swatting away shots like they're mosquitoes at a summer barbecue. Imagine these two facing off in the playoffs. It's like an unstoppable force meeting, an immovable object. Clark's going to be throwing everything she's got at Wilson, trying to outmaneuver her with those killer passes and long-range shots. But Wilson, she'll be right there, ready to shut it all down and then turn around and drop 30 points like it's nothing. This rivalry isn't just about who wins the game, it's about the future of the WNBA. These two players are pushing each other to new heights, showing everyone what women's basketball can be. They're breaking records, changing strategies, and making everyone sit up and take notice. And you know what's crazy? They're both on the AP All-WNBA first team. That's right, the rookie and the MVP side by side. It's like the league is saying, hey, these are the players to watch. And they're not wrong. Every time Clark and Wilson step on the court, they're redefining what's possible in this sport. But here's the thing. It doesn't matter who wins MVP or Rookie of the Year. When you've got talent like this, everyone wins. Clark and Wilson are raising the bar for the entire league. They're inspiring young girls to pick up a basketball and dream big. They're showing that women's basketball can be just as exciting, just as competitive, and just as impactful as any other sport out there. Alright, let's talk about how we can make the WNBA even better. The MVP thing, it's not just about points anymore. We need to look at the whole picture, how a player changes the game, lifts their team, and inspires fans. It's time for the WNBA to shake things up and redefine what value really means. But that's not all. The league's got to clean up its act when it comes to toxic behavior. No more drama, no more exclusion. We want a WNBA where everyone feels welcome, no matter who they are or what they believe. Here's the deal. We've got incredible talent like Clark and Wilson lighting up the court. Let's focus on that. It's up to us fans to cheer for the good stuff and call out the bad. Together, we can make the WNBA a place where every player and fan feels like they belong. Who's with me?